My name is Walt Pearson. I'm 64 years old, and my family has owned our ranch for 3 generations. I've seen droughts, cattle storms, and neighbors come and go, but I'd never seen anything like what happened after I left for 21 days. I was in Arizona, helping my brother with a business matter when my neighbor Dale called. "Walt," he said carefully, "there are trucks on your property, heavy equipment, and the workers are carrying paperwork around like they've got permission to be there." I figured maybe the county was fixing a utility line. But 10 days later, Dale called again. "There's a sheriff's deputy at your gate now, just standing there watching." That's when my stomach dropped. When I turned onto my gravel road, I couldn't even get out of the truck at first. Sitting in the middle of my north pasture was a full oil derrick. Workers moved around it. HOA committee members wandered between equipment trailers like they'd discovered a gold mine. And standing in the center of it all was Karen Whitfield, president of our HOA, smiling like she owned the place. "Walt, you're just in time," she called. "We struck oil." I climbed out slowly. "Karen, who gave you permission to drill on my land?" She held up a clipboard with a raised gold seal stamped across the top page. "We followed the bylaws," she said confidently. "Everything coming out of this ground belongs to the association." Behind her sat 3 storage tanks already filling with oil. And that's when I realized this wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a takeover. Over the next few days, Karen treated my ranch like a tourist attraction. She walked board members around the derrick, pointed at the tanks, and talked about community prosperity as if she'd discovered oil herself. The HOA newsletter even ran a front-page article titled "A New Era for Our Neighborhood." Plans appeared for a larger clubhouse, a renovated pool, and something Karen proudly called the Founder's Wing. Apparently, my pasture was going to pay for all of it. I asked her again, "You understand this land belongs to me, right?" She smiled. "Section 14, subsection C," she replied. "Shared community resource development. Our attorney reviewed everything." Something about the way she said it bothered me. It sounded less like certainty and more like a rehearsed line. So I stopped arguing. Instead, I started making phone calls. 3 days later, a county clerk read a sentence from an old property record that changed everything. "Mr. Pearson, the mineral rights beneath your land were never transferred." I asked her to repeat it. Never transferred, not to a developer, not to the HOA, not to anyone. Suddenly, Karen's gold-sealed paperwork didn't look so impressive. The next morning, I went to the county courthouse myself. The clerk brought out the original deed from 1962, signed by my grandfather. There it was in plain English. All mineral rights remained with the landowner unless specifically sold or leased. They had never been sold. They had never been leased. They were still mine. Section 14, subsection C covered things like fences, drainage, and shared maintenance areas. Oil extraction wasn't mentioned anywhere. I hired attorney Denise Cole that afternoon. She read every document twice, then looked at me. "Walt, they don't just have to stop drilling," she said. "They owe you every barrel they've already pumped." 2 weeks later, county inspectors arrived with a state oil and gas regulator. Karen came charging out of her house in a robe, waving the same clipboard. "This is harassment." The regulator took the document, read it once, then again. "Ma'am," he said, "this authorizes maintenance of a retention pond. It does not authorize drilling for oil." Karen's face drained of color. "Our attorney approved it," she whispered. "Your attorney approved the wrong clause," Denise replied. 3 weeks later, the ruling became official. Every barrel of oil already extracted belonged to me. The HOA was ordered to pay for capping the well, remove all drilling equipment, restore my pasture, cover inspection fees, pay my legal costs. The diversified revenue stream Karen had bragged about turned into a financial disaster. The clubhouse expansion disappeared overnight. The pool renovation was postponed indefinitely. And 2 months later, Karen resigned as HOA president, citing personal reasons. Dale later told me he saw her sitting in her car outside the courthouse crying after the final ruling. I didn't celebrate. I didn't put up a sign. I simply stood on my porch and watched the trucks leave my ranch one by one, the same way they had arrived. Slowly. For good. To this day, I still receive HOA letters. Most of them contain apologies hidden inside pages of legal language. Karen thought she'd turned my ranch into a money machine. In the end, the only thing the HOA successfully extracted was its own budget. If you enjoyed this story and want more real-life HOA disasters, property battles, and unexpected revenge stories, hit subscribe, like the video, and drop a comment with what you would have done if someone drilled for oil on your land without permission. Your support keeps these stories coming, and trust me, the next one is even crazier.